Mastercam X4 offers a new creation method for defining planes. Dynamic planes makes it easier by using a graphical gnomon. The graphical gnomon can be driven with the mouse, or it can be driven through the dialog box. So for example, to establish the origin of your new plane, you simply grab the ball or the origin at the center here, and you move the plane wherever you want to locate the origin. It can be in free space, it can be a hotkey. I'll place it on the edge of the spline. There are hot spots on the stem and the arrowheads in the label. The stem closest to the origin brings up a slide ruler, and you can slide along that axis, in this case the Y. Notice the dialog is tracking 1/4 inch at a time, and it's blue. It's blue because I can type in I wanted to move 2 inches, and it moved it 2 inches. If I don't want to move a 1/4 inch at a time, while you're in the middle of the function, you can come in here and you can change it. Let's change the linear increment to 100 thou at a time instead. Now I'm moving 100 thou at a time. And you are not limited to the 100 thou increments. If you want to simply move in free space, you can turn off the linear snapping, and it's just going to move along. And you can see now I'm getting some odd numbers in the Y field. Or you can leave it on and get your 100 thou snaps. If you're snapping at 100 thou, you can still reference another hot point on the screen, like for example right here. And notice you're going to get an odd number because that snap point overrides the increments. Or here. Or here. If I had some 3D geometry in the screen, and I do, if I unhide a surface that's up in the air there, as I'm tracking along the axes, if I pick a point along it, it's going to get projected back, in this case to the YZ plane. So you're going to get what you want. You want to align it to this point as you're sliding along. So I'm going to put my gnomon back like so. If you hover over the label, you can rotate about, in this case, the x-axis. So the label and the stem below the arrowhead let you rotate. Now in this case, I'm rotating in free space, so it's a flat rotation. The red indicates where I've been, and the rest of the yellow is where I can go. So I know that I've rotated 180 degrees by looking at the red and the yellow on the dial, or look at the dialog. It said 180. If you know you want to rotate 45 degrees, you can just come in here and simply type in 45 degrees, and there's your rotation. So let's go ahead and get it back over here. While you're rotating like so, you have again the ability to snap to a location on the screen, and you'll get your odd angle value instead of an increment. The increment can be 5 degrees, it can be 10 degrees, like this. And notice the dial reacted and changed the look of the dial. I'll go back to 5 degrees. And it also supports active snapping, just like the linear example did. If I hover about a hot point on the screen, an auto cursor position, it will rotate in free space about the origin. Notice the y-axis is pointing directly at that point in space. Now it's not because I'm in free space. If I grab a hot point, it's going to align with it. And I'm set to 3D. If I'm set to 2D, that hot point will get projected back down to the flat plane you are rotating within. So the 2D, 3D switch adds more power to the way you orientate the dynamic gnomon. If you click on the arrowhead itself, this puts you in an auto-align mode. And if I open the config, these are entities or attributes that this can align to. So it can align to a line, an arc, a spline, along a solid edge, or normal to a solid face or a surface. And you can choose, I'm going to filter out line, for example. So if I hit the arrowhead, notice it's not aligning to this line because I told it it's not allowed to, but it will align to the spline. There's the z-axis aligning to the spline. Notice it's pointing to the right. If I hit the flip, now it's pointing the other way. And F is the hotkey, and you can flip that as you're moving along. So there's my arc. And if I hit F, it flips it. And at any point, if you choose to align to something else, you can come in here and turn it on at any time. And now it's going to pick up that line either way. If I get a better view here, you can see it, the z-axis tracking the surface normal of this surface. And if I hit flip, it flips it. Like so. Go back to a view like so. I'm going to place it in space. You can choose to align it with something, with another C-plane, or in this case, let's say the world. And aligns with the world. You can also tell it to move to the world origin or other origins available on the screen. So we'll say world, move to, and it moves to the world. A quick F9 proves that it is aligned to the world. And here's an example of working with data that is not aligned with your current planes. This would be an ISO view, a right view, front, and top. None of those planes represent the desired plane to work in. So you have to create that plane. Dynamic planes. I like the origin to be on this corner. I'd like the y-axis to be aligned with this edge. And I'd like the x-axis to be aligned with this edge. There's the desired orientation. I simply hit OK. Name the new plane. Set it as my WCS at the same time. And now here's my isometric view and my other views. Dynamic planes, making it easier to create planes in Mastercam.